For years, the narrative surrounding Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein seemed clear-cut. Everyone knew that Trump and Epstein were acquaintances, two powerful men who moved in the same circles. But when it came to Melania Trump, the story was different. She was framed as an innocent bystander, untouched, a woman who just happened to walk into the picture at the right moment. This version of events was accepted as fact, but now a legal conflict has emerged that threatens to shatter that carefully constructed narrative. This isn't just gossip or baseless rumor, it's a legal battle with the potential to change everything we thought we knew. And the timing? It could not be more explosive. The United States is currently in the grips of its most intense wave of civil unrest in years. Protests rage across the country, sparked by the tragic killing of ICU nurse Alex Priddy during an immigration operation in Minneapolis. The National Guard has been deployed to control the chaos, and the nation is on edge. Yet, in the midst of this turmoil, a glossy documentary about Melania Trump is quietly released. It portrays her as a figure of resilience, grace, and patriotism, offering a carefully curated image meant to freeze her persona in a moment of purity. While the streets are ablaze and sirens echo across the land, we're invited to sit in velvet seats, watching a polished portrayal of Melania that seeks to mask the chaos outside. But this isn't just about optics. This documentary is competing against something far more real, far more consequential. As the country reels from political instability, a court filing is emerging that challenges everything we thought we knew about Melania Trump, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So, what is the real story? Was Melania simply an innocent bystander, or is there something much darker lurking beneath the surface, something far more intertwined with Epstein's world than anyone ever imagined? The question now lingers, unanswered, and as the legal battles unfold, the truth may be closer than we think. Don't miss the next chapter in this explosive story. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned as we dig deeper into the secrets that could change everything. In January 2026, while America was gripped by one of its most intense waves of civil unrest, a striking contrast unfolded in the media. Protests were erupting across the country, fueled by anger over the fatal shooting of a nurse during a controversial immigration operation. Streets were filled with smoke, and sirens echoed in the distance. Yet, at the same time, the world was quietly introduced to a glossy documentary, a project valued at $40 million, about Melania Trump. It was released at a time when National Guard units were being deployed, and the nation's foundations seemed to be cracking. The timing was almost surreal. As one part of the country burned, another part was swept away by the polished narrative of a woman elegant, resilient, and patriotic. The documentary offered a curated image, one that painted Melania as a dignified figure, immune to the chaos that surrounded her. This carefully crafted portrayal seemed designed to freeze her image in place, preserving it before any new developments could tarnish it. But there was a darker truth behind the timing of this release. While a segment of the population absorbed the shiny, comforting story, another reality was unfolding in the courts. The release of this film coincided with a legal battle, one that had the potential to expose a far more complicated version of Melania's past. The documentary, which seemed designed to define her, now found itself competing with sworn filings, legal threats, and a relentless journalist who refused to back down. In this clash, it wasn't just about public perception. It was about a battle between image and record. The stakes were far higher than any box office numbers could ever capture. In late 2025, Melania Trump's legal team issued a cease and desist letter to journalist Michael Wolff, demanding that he retract the claims made in his book or face a defamation lawsuit. The stakes were high, with the Trump camp threatening damages amounting to an astounding $1 billion. Normally, this would be the point where most authors buckle under the pressure. Legal threats, backed by the weight of such a substantial amount, often lead to a quiet retraction, and the story vanishes. But this time, it was different. Instead of retreating, Wolff did something rare. He fought back. Wolff didn't back down. In fact, he filed a declaratory judgment action under New York's anti-SLAPP laws, essentially daring Melania Trump to take the fight to court. This wasn't about deflecting through vague statements or mediated channels. No, this was about bringing the case into the open, demanding discovery. the part of the legal process where the truth can no longer be ignored. This shift in strategy was pivotal because once a defamation case reaches this stage, the rules of the game change. Truth becomes a defense, and documents become the weapons that shape the narrative. By taking this bold step, Wolff pushed the case into a realm where silence is no longer an option. What followed was not just a battle over words, but one where the legal system would scrutinize the very foundations of Melania's public persona, pulling back the curtain on a narrative carefully crafted for years. Now, the question was not just about words in a book, but about the truth behind those words, a truth that would soon be laid bare. For years, the story of how Melania Trump met Donald Trump seemed simple. A chance encounter at a New York nightclub during Fashion Week in 1998. It was a narrative that fit neatly into the public's perception of the couple's beginnings. But now, with the emergence of new legal filings, that version of events is being called into question. Michael Wolff's legal documents paint a very different picture, one that suggests Melania's introduction to Trump might not have been as random as it appeared. According to these filings, Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex offender who operated in powerful circles, may have played a key role in orchestrating their first meeting. The implications of these claims are profound. The legal documents suggest that Epstein was not merely a peripheral figure in Melania's world. Rather, he was central to the social circles she moved in. Epstein's gatherings, which were notorious for connecting influential men with young women, could have been the very setting where Melania and Donald Trump first crossed paths. These aren't idle rumors, these are serious, sworn allegations that are now part of the legal record. While these claims haven't yet been proven in court, the idea that Melania may have been embedded in Epstein's social circle raises difficult questions. One of the most startling pieces of evidence cited by Wolff's legal team is an alleged interview with Epstein, recorded years before his death. In this interview, Epstein allegedly takes credit for introducing Melania to Donald Trump, even claiming that their first intimate encounter occurred aboard his infamous private jet, the Lolita Express. While this claim remains unverified, it adds a new and troubling layer to a story that has long been framed as innocent and serendipitous. As these legal documents continue to circulate, the questions surrounding Melania Trump's past will only intensify. The carefully constructed narrative of her life, one built on years of public silence, is now being questioned. Will Melania be forced to answer these questions under oath, or will her silence continue to shield her from accountability? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this story. The next chapter promises to reveal even more startling developments that could change everything. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the latest updates as this legal battle unfolds. As the legal battle intensifies, new questions are emerging, questions that Melania Trump seems determined to sidestep. The focus is now shifting from her carefully crafted public image to something much more complex: the legal consequences of her silence. Michael Wolff's filing brings these questions to the forefront, questions that could fundamentally alter everything we thought we knew. One of the central inquiries revolves around Melania's potential knowledge of troubling events. The legal documents suggest that she wasn't just a passive observer in Jeffrey Epstein's world. Could it be that Melania witnessed things that, if openly acknowledged, would expose far more than anyone had anticipated? The issue at hand isn't about assigning blame, but about uncovering the truth hidden within her silence. Wolff's legal team poses a series of uncomfortable questions. Did Melania ever witness minors at Epstein's residences? Did she ever observe suspicious or inappropriate behavior at his events? These are questions that challenge the narrative of Melania as an innocent bystander. Furthermore, did Epstein's associates ever attempt to recruit her or bring her into his circle in any capacity? Perhaps most significantly, the filing raises the possibility that Epstein may have assisted Melania in ways that are deeply troubling. Did Epstein offer any form of financial or legal assistance related to her immigration process? These aren't just baseless accusations, they are questions that could compel Melania to confront uncomfortable truths under oath. Her refusal to speak about what she may have seen now stands as the most significant aspect of her involvement. This silence could either protect her or, in the face of mounting legal pressure, unravel the carefully constructed persona she has built over the years. The legal team representing Wolf is pushing for the discovery process, a stage where truth becomes a defense and where silence no longer holds up as a shield. The battle is no longer just about public opinion or media narratives. It is about transparency versus secrecy. The rules of discovery in the legal world leave no room for evasion. As this case progresses, Melania's silence, which has been her most effective tool for years, may no longer be enough to shield her from the legal scrutiny that is quickly closing in. In the public eye, Melania Trump has always been a figure of grace, silence, and control. For years, she has cultivated an image of detachment, presenting herself as someone who doesn't engage with the noise surrounding her. Her silence, often interpreted as elegance or coldness, has been her most powerful tool, giving her the ability to maintain control over her narrative. She speaks rarely, and when she does, it's carefully measured, designed to preserve the flawless image she has spent years building. But what if her silence isn't just about grace or maintaining poise? What if it's something far deeper? The legal battle that's now unfolding forces us to reconsider the meaning of her absence from the conversation. Could her silence be a way to avoid addressing uncomfortable truths, to prevent the exposure of a past she might rather keep hidden? Wolf's filing doesn't just challenge the public persona of Melania Trump. It suggests that her silence could be hiding a more complicated story. There's a chilling suggestion in the filings. Melania, by staying silent, is not just avoiding confrontation. She is potentially protecting herself from becoming a witness in a case that could implicate her in a network of powerful figures, including Jeffrey Epstein. The questions that Wolf's team wants to ask her under oath are not trivial. These are questions that could unravel everything she has tried to keep hidden. Did she witness anything at Epstein's gatherings? Did she know about the activities that took place in those circles? Was she involved in any way? For Melania, admitting to any involvement or even proximity to Epstein's world could shatter the carefully crafted image she has worked so hard to maintain. It would not just expose her past, it would reframe everything about her marriage to Donald Trump, her role in his world, and perhaps her very reason for silence. And silence, as history has shown, can mean many things. It can be complicity, it can be fear, or it can be a calculated choice to protect oneself from the fallout of a bigger story. Her attorneys have been quick to defend her, pointing out that her name doesn't appear on flight logs or documents related to Epstein. They argue that the claims are defamatory and misleading. But Wolf's legal team counters this argument, suggesting that just because Melania's name isn't on paper doesn't mean she wasn't part of that world. They want to probe deeper, ask the question she's been avoiding, and that is where the real power lies. In this chapter, we see the tension between the image of Melania Trump that the public knows and the one that may be hiding beneath the surface. Silence, which for years has been her shield, may now become her greatest liability. As the case moves forward, it remains to be seen whether Melania can continue to maintain her distance from the truth, or if, at last, she will be forced to speak. As we reach the final chapter of this unfolding narrative, the questions surrounding Melania Trump's past and her connection to Jeffrey Epstein remain unresolved. The legal battles, the court filings, and the allegations presented have created an atmosphere of uncertainty, leaving us all to ponder one fundamental question: what really happened? Throughout this story, we've seen the carefully constructed public image of Melania Trump, one that has been shaped by silence, grace, and controlled distance. But with every new layer revealed, another question arises. Could Melania have been more involved in Epstein's world than anyone has ever dared to admit? Or was she truly an innocent bystander, swept up in a circle of influence and power that she couldn't escape? The tension between public perception and private reality is palpable, and it's something that can't be easily erased by polished documentaries or press statements. In the end, this isn't about assigning blame or guilt. It's about whether those who stand close enough to the edge of power can ever truly escape accountability. It's about the truth, the difficult questions, and the reality of what silence really means in the face of immense pressure. If Melania was indeed present in these spaces, if she witnessed the dark realities that Epstein allegedly orchestrated, her silence becomes part of the story. It becomes a powerful symbol of complicity or, at the very least, a profound refusal to speak out. Now, The battle is not just in the courtroom, but in the court of public opinion. As new revelations emerge and legal proceedings unfold, we are left to wonder, can Melania Trump ever truly separate herself from the shadow of Epstein's legacy? Or will the truth eventually be dragged into the light, no matter how much power or wealth tries to keep it hidden? The documentary, the legal filings, the interviews, and the public statements, these are all part of the larger narrative, but the real story might just be the one that we never get to hear. And that is what makes this case so haunting. We don't have all the answers. We're left with a maze of questions, allegations, and unanswered mysteries. So, what do you think? Is Michael Wolff merely chasing relevance, or is there something more to this story than meets the eye? Does Melania Trump hold the key to understanding the final chapter of the Epstein saga, or is she simply another piece in a puzzle that was never meant to be completed? Thank you for following this journey with us. If you found this investigation insightful, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. As the story continues to unfold, we'll be right here, bringing you the latest insights and analysis. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching.